What's up, everybody, and welcome to the creaTed podcast. I'm your host, Teddy Osuna, and today I'm joined by
Jose Escobar. How's it going?
yeah. So, get back to what you asked me. So, what I do for outside of photography is I'm a manager of a group home.
Okay, nice.
So, we take care of adults with developmental disabilities. So there's 4 people with autism and 2 people with cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And 2 of the 4 have epilepsy as well.
Oh wow.
So, and they're kind of like big kids.
Right.
So none of them can shower themselves. None of them can go to the bathroom by themselves.
Right.
We have to do everything for them, literally. Like, get them up in the morning, take them to the bathroom, shower them, shave them, brush their teeth, what have you. Like, all the things that you and I is like, boom, we got to do it real quick. We got to do for them.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I've been doing that since I was, my mom's been doing that since I was born. And then when I turned 18, she opened her own home. And I kind of just started running that business for her. Yeah. Yeah. So she's the owner and I run it for her.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. What about you? What do you do? I've honestly, this is probably the longest I've ever talked to you outside of
I know the meetups and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. I work in the IT industry. I've done multiple variants of that for different companies, but right now I'm working for Sharp.
Okay.
And I worked a night shift, but
oh shit.
You know, since I'm going to be moving, I'm not going to have much.
Why are you moving?
I just want to own a house, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I feel you, bro.
I don't want a mortgage anymore, so put my place up for sale. Someone came and picked it up, and then put money down on a house.
Oh damn, where are you gonna move to?
Cash.
Damn.
Arizona.
Okay.
I'm gonna be out just outside of Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So
that's
right by the Grand Canyon.
Damn. My cousin just moved out to, or not just, he moved out to Vegas, like right before the whole pandemic started.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, him and his mom bought a house out there, cash like just like you, and they're chilling out there.
Yeah, I mean it's what everybody's doing, man. Getting out of California.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's out there in Texas or whatever too.
Yeah, dude. Everybody Tesla, they moved all out there.
Yeah.
Like built a whole plant and stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting out of
It's
California.
cheaper in out of California because all the fucking taxes that they want to charge you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, man.
Especially if you own a business, dude.
Tell
Like
me
a
about-
big business. I mean,
Even for small businesses, dude, like the taxes are crazy.
Yeah.
I have to, because I do a lot of bookkeeping as well for it, and it's just like, man, why do we have to pay so much in taxes?
I know.
Where's all this going?
Luckily, small time photographer. It's not too heavy yet.
Yeah. So speaking of photography, what got you into photography?
Honestly, I've been into photography ever since like high school.
Okay.
We did you shoot film and then you play around with it, get to develop it yourself and stuff like that. And I liked it. But I really didn't pick it up until I started seeing a bunch of photos. This was after college.
Okay.
And I started seeing a bunch of like landscape depth of field photos and stuff like that, like super shallow and stuff. And I really started to dig that. And then I picked up a camera, and a friend of mine, he runs his own business actually out here in San Marcos. He does fitness.
Okay.
He's a fitness coach out here. And he was just, hey, dude, I like your colors. You need to start taking pictures of people.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, I did street photography here and there, but like I didn't want to take pictures of people. You know? Like, I like landscape and architecture.
You don't like the people to talk back to you.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But he told me, he's like, dude, the beach isn't going to pay you to take their photos. You know what I mean?
True.
So, he actually, he kind of mentored me in that because he's been in magazines and stuff for physical fitness. And he basically just took me outside and he had me take pictures of him and stuff. Yeah. And then he was like, go ahead and edit them. And then I would edit them and send them back. And he would literally just be like, this is what you need to fix. This is what you need to fix.
So he kind of knew what he was looking for?
Yeah, because he's been in covers and stuff like that. So like he knew what it was supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And in like 3 months, like my stuff had grown so much, like how far in my editing.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of ran with it after that. I was like, this is kind of cool. So,
yeah.
But
that's how everyone pretty much starts. Like that one person's like, yo, just come take a picture of me real quick.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm curious to know because like even for you, every photographer that I've asked, they never start as a portrait photographer. They're always like landscape or even street. Like used to go to the meetups where like, the smoke bombs and like the people, breathing fire and stuff like that, wearing masks, like take over LA and stuff like that. That was super cool. I used to like doing that. But yeah, never like serious like portrait photography or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like, what about you? You too, or?
It was weird. Like I just like you kind of just fell into it.
Yeah.
So I bought my camera. Like I bought a Nikon D3100 when my daughter was like, 3 or 4. Because I had her when I was super young. I had her when I was 17.
Oh wow.
So when I started working more and more and I got money, I was like, oh, maybe I should capture these moments, you know?
Yeah.
And my camera just sat for a while. I was like, I don't really want to take pictures. And then my cousin and I started podcasting a couple years into me getting the camera, and I started using that as a video camera.
Right.
And then we met this dude, and he's like, oh, I'm a musical artist. Can you kind of come shoot some behind the scenes video for me? And he said that to my cousin. So he took my camera, and I was like, hey, that actually looks kind of fun. I want to try that. So then I got into it. And then the next time he asked him, I said, hey, can I go and help out as well? And so I took my camera, took some pictures, and I was like, oh, it's actually kind of fun. Should get into it.
Right.
So yeah, I just from there just started shooting more and more. And then the whole portrait thing was just when you're on music video sets, there's models around just doing nothing. Right. So I just started taking pictures of them and just kind of went from there.
Oh, damn. Nice. Yeah, that's kind of the crazy thing is like I started in video too, more so. I was more interested in video.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I got a what was my first camera? The original like 7D or something.
Canon?
Canon, yeah.
Okay.
Was it
the 70D?
No, it was a
or the
a
Rebel.
T2i.
Okay.
Yeah, T2i was like the first camera. And then I moved up to a 7D and a 6D because I wanted to do video. And everybody's like, the 6D is like, you know, low light video king and blah, blah, blah. And then by that time, I started getting into like portrait photography too and stuff. So then I went to Nikon for a little while.
Okay.
It was cool. No, I honestly, if I could go back, I probably would have stayed with Nikon.
Really?
Yeah, now that they got mirrorless and stuff, like their stuff is like super good.
Yeah.
I just love the colors of Nikon. Like when I switched to Sony, I was just like, dude, what am I gonna do with like? I had like this whole workflow with Nikon, and now I'm like, what am I gonna do on Sony? You know?
Yeah.
But for video at the time, Sony was just
killing it. Yeah.
Yeah. I
remember when the
4K,
A7,
like
the original A7S came out.
Yeah.
And everyone was super hyped about that one.
Yeah.
Because I was in, I was going to school at Palomar for video production.
Okay.
And they had just gotten the A7S. And the teacher there was like, you guys have to shoot on this. It's like the revolutionary camera. I was like, what's so great about it? Because I didn't really know anything when I got into it. But, and even then it was funny because you know how right now a lot of people are talking shit on Canon, the R5 and the R6 because of their overheating.
Right. Well, Sony's overheated like crazy, dude.
Yeah. And then everyone's like talking shit like, yo, but the Sonys were overheating years ago. Like obviously there's years of R&D that go into it. So now they're a lot better, but you know, let them have their time with their first mirrorless cameras and stuff.
Yeah. I just think the pricing on the Canon and Nikon is just not competitive.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you look at the R5 and the R6, they're like, what, $5,000, $4,000, something like that?
Yeah, they are. They're pretty pricey.
Yeah. And when you look at the Sonys, when they first came out with the, even the A7S, they were only asking like $2,400 or $2,500 for it at the time.
So like right now, what is it? The A9?
Yeah.
Or the A9 II or something like the other Sonys that just came out? Like,
yeah, still cheaper than the R5.
Yeah.
You know,
those are crazy good cameras too.
Yeah, I think they just if you're gonna be behind on the technology, at least make your pricing, you know, competitive.
True.
You definitely sell more bodies that way. Because especially coming from Nikon and Canon, when I had a D810, and then I was gonna go.
I was actually gonna buy that camera because I went from the 3100 to the D7100.
Right.
And I was already in the Nikon workflow as well.
Right.
So I was like, shit, should I go the 750 or the 810?
Right. And that was my dilemma too. I was like, dude, 750 is nice. 810, but 810 at that time was like the banger.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then like the 850 came out. And I was like, oh man, I should get the 850. And then when I looked at the price, I was like, I turned around and looked at the A7R3 and the A7R2s, and I was like, man, that's comparable. Yeah.
The A7R3 is right there.
Yeah. And so I made the jump at the time and just jumped over. I had a little A7, the first one.
Okay.
It was a little clunky because it was like the original A7.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too bad. I didn't shoot with it all the time. But once the second generation, even the third generation came out, I was like, all right, I'm in. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny is before I got the A7R4, I was shooting with the 5D Mark IV.
Dude, great camera.
Yeah, and then I was like, maybe I want to get into mirrorless, and I got the Sony A6000, I think, or A6300 or something like that.
Right.
It was one of those like it kind of looked like a point and shoot,
right.
But it was an APS-C sensor and all that, and I couldn't wrap my head around the menu system for the life of me.
Oh yeah, dude, it's so horrible.
I was like, what is happening to me? Like I couldn't grasp the concept of that menu.
It took me forever.
Yeah, and then finally I was like, when I made the jump from the Mark IV or the 5D to the R4, I was like, I gotta learn it now because there's no going back.
Right.
I already purchased it.
Yeah, and that's kind of my biggest gripe for Sony. Like Sony, I'm looking at you guys. Like,
right?
How come we can't get the cool menu system that the new body's got?
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? Like my A7 III, my A7R3, I can't get the R4.
No, the R4 is still the same menu as this one.
Which one is
the S3?
Oh, the S3 got the A9, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have the new menu system, the flip out screen, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I just want the menu system. I've seen it. It's just so much more intuitive. It just works so much better.
I'm pretty sure they can do some firmware update or just fix it, but
they don't want to.
Yeah. You charge us like $100. I'd pay for it.
I'd pay for it right now.
Yeah.
Like, dude, although, I mean, I don't know if I would right now because, like, I spent so much time, like, digging through and, like, setting up my favorites. Like, I know where everything is. But, I mean, yeah, maybe I would.
Yeah.
Maybe I would because, like, it's
how
faster.
How many pages do you have on your favorites menu?
4.
4? Okay.
Yeah, not too bad. Just to turn the IBIS on and off when I'm on a gimbal and, like, turning off my electronic first curtain.
Okay, gotcha.
When working with like the Godox products and stuff. But yeah, nothing too serious, nothing crazy.
What's your setup right now that you're shooting with?
Right now I'm using the A7 III.
A7R3 or the A7 III?
No, A7 III.
Okay.
So I sold my R3.
Oh, dang. Okay.
And I went down to an A7 III. Mainly because I ended up shooting a lot of content where I was missing focus at the edges of my screen.
Oh, okay.
And I just wanted the better focus. They say the video was sharper because it oversamples or whatever, which I wasn't really tripping off of. But mainly it was the focusing and the low light.
Gotcha.
The A7R3 is nice, but low light is kind of
it's
hit or
iffy.
miss on it. So yeah, I wanted to just make the jump and see what the hype was about on the 7 III, but I'm running that and then the Sigma 24-70 DN, the Sony Zeiss 51.4,
nice.
And I got rid of my 85 and I'm running the Sigma 105 2.8 macro.
Oh, okay. Oh, the macros. That's a new one, huh?
Yeah. I decided to do that because it's got a different look. I wanted to get macros for like beauty and like high end retouching and stuff like that. But I didn't have anything that I felt was like that sharp.
Okay.
Or meant to be that sharp, I should say. And I was gonna get the 90, the 90 macro that everybody talks about.
The G Master one.
Yeah. But everybody was. I was watching all the reviews on the 105, and it was like, they were saying it's killer, and it's like only like $800-900. So.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So I picked it up and. Super solid. Like,
might have to get myself the 105 then.
Yeah, I mean, I like running a macro because I was bouncing between that and then going like 135 GM, like Sony's like sharpest lens.
Didn't you have the 135? Because
I had the Sigma 135, and it's not a DN. It was from the mirror.
Oh,
like from the DSLR.
Yeah.
It had that mount built into it, so it was like that big Canon. And it was cool. I did miss focus.
Oh, okay.
Quite a bit, and it was a little clunky.
Gotcha.
It wasn't as bad as the 85, but it was there. So I picked up the. I actually ended up getting rid of it.
Oh, okay.
And then running the 85 GM for a while.
I just have the Sigma 85, and that thing's a killer, dude.
That one.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, and you do miss. I mean.
I haven't missed with that one.
Is that the DN or?
I think so. I'm not sure. You can grab it and check it. I'm not sure.
No, it's the DG. This has the.
Oh, so has the motor built in?
No, it has the adapter right here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they made a new one.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
The DG, and it's like
half the size. Yeah.
It's super cool. But
That's why that one's so huge. Then
Yeah.
I haven't. Luckily, I haven't missed focus with that one yet.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I missed with my 135.
Damn.
So
I mean, some lenses just hit or miss, with especially with third party lenses like that. It's kind of
like you could have a killer copy too. Like your copy could be the best of the bunch.
I mean, I would hope so, because I've seen reviews on that 24-70 where inside the front element it's just filled with dust.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about when I got mine, because people were saying they were getting dust in there and stuff. I haven't had it happen yet.
Yeah, I've had that one for a year and a half now. It's clean.
Just really? I've only had mine for like 3 months.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't know if it was like they started making better ones as they...
I hope so. Yeah.
Or they took care of the issue with like the newer copies.
Yeah, because there was some dude, I was watching his stuff on Instagram, and he kept complaining, and somebody was like, dude, just like take care of your lenses, because he was this, I don't know who it was, but I don't remember his name, but I came across his content a lot, and he would always talk about how he never put his lens cap on his lens. I'm like, that's kind of stupid. Like, why would you never do that?
Really?
Yeah. It was some random like thing that I was just watching him, and then he started talking about how he had the 24-70, and then people were saying like, well, it's because you never keep your lens cap on it.
Well,
and then he started making started making videos. He's like, no, my lens cap has nothing to do with it. Like, look at all my other lenses, and he showed them. They were all clean except for that. The 24-70 was completely just like messy as hell.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about. We'll see. I mean, I haven't had any issues with mine. I love that lens.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's super versatile, and I didn't want to pay $2,200 or $2,300 for the.
I got
GM.
that one. I got both of these on sale, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just didn't want to get the GM.
No, yeah, I feel you. Yeah,
you know, so that was just kind of like I didn't want to spend the money on that.
Yeah, because what the 24-70 is what, like 2,400?
Something like that. Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
Ridiculous. I mean, and I hope they come out. I'm looking at you, Sigma. I'm hoping they come out with the 7200 DN.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Because I mean, they make this one, like the adapted one. It's called like the Speed Master or something like that.
Yeah.
But I really hope that they make one for the mirrorless.
Yeah.
Because right now, I mean, the top dog is a 7200 GM.
Those GM lenses are crazy price though.
Yeah,
that's
like $3,000.
Oh my god, it's so crazy. But I mean, if that's your job where you're getting paid top dollar for it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I mean, you can get away with weddings doing whatever you do, you know. Like I got away with the 85-35 combo for a couple years.
Did you crop in with the Super 35 mode on the camera? Or?
Well, that's where the A7R3 came in handy, because I could just crop in, period. Yeah. But yeah, if I was doing video, I would just sit on my 85 and then just go Super 35.
That's what I do with this one sometimes when I'm doing like certain things and I can't get closer.
Yeah.
Just crop in.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're shooting with the R series, you could take a picture from a mile away and still.
This one's a monster, 61 megapixels. Just
yeah, man. I don't want to see what the raw files look on that thing.
They're
ginormous.
Yeah, they're huge. They bog down my laptop like crazy. Sometimes I'm just like, oh my god, why did I do this?
Yeah, I can only imagine, man.
I'm trying to wait and see when they get the M1 chip into the new
the MacBooks
and stuff, because they haven't really streamlined it for Premiere and Lightroom and all that stuff.
Right.
So I'm kind of like waiting to hopefully soon that'll happen.
Yeah, I dumped. Moving on to software.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I dumped a lot of my. We pay for the subscription for the photography one, but I really only use Photoshop now. Been using Capture One for like the past 2 years.
Okay.
So on my MacBook Pro, the thing flies. Like
Capture One does?
There's nothing like it. Like,
okay.
It's super fast.
Better than Lightroom?
Oh yeah. Oh dude, like night and day difference between that and Lightroom.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little weird because like all the, all your tools and your toolbars and stuff are in different areas. But once you get used to it, man, boom, it's super fast.
Really?
Yeah.
And, I have to try it out.
And I struggled with Lightroom for a long time, and I was just it used to be to the point where I would just grab the photo, and just straight to Photoshop because I didn't want to deal with Lightroom's catalogs and stuff like that. But I had to do something, and when I started seeing Capture One, you get a free trial like for like a week or something if you wanted to download it.
Might try it, yeah.
And if you have Sony, like I do, they have. Like we do, if you're Sony exclusive, like we don't use any more Nikon RAWs or anything like that. They have a deal. It's like, I don't know, it's like $100 for the year.
Oh damn! That's way cheaper than.
Yeah, because Sony originally partnered with Capture One when they released it. So for the longest time, if you bought a Sony camera, you would get Capture One for like $50.
What?
Yeah, and I never thought of it. I was like, I don't know what this is, like whatever. So finally, I bit the bullet, and I was like, whatever, $100. Like,
I saw some. There's this dude I follow on Instagram where he's always talking about Capture One, how he has different profiles, and he'll have them up on the screen at the same time, where he can compare the colors for his pictures. I was like, damn, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and it reads the RAWs differently.
Okay.
Than you would expect from Lightroom.
Yeah, because when I know it's weird from, I don't know, oh, you haven't used Lightroom that long, but when I import into Lightroom, for some reason, when I go to preview the picture, the color that's in camera is different in Lightroom.
Right.
I'm like, why?
Well, that's because when you're looking at it in camera, you're in camera, even though it's showing RAW, it's still putting the
JPEG thing?
The JPEG coloring on it.
Oh, okay.
So like on my cameras, I always shoot like neutral, turn my saturation all the way down. So it kind of looks similar to what the RAW comes out like in Lightroom. But if you hold Lightroom up and Capture One up and you're looking at the same RAW file, nothing edited, you can tell like the blacks are blacker. There's a lot more contrast and definition in the Capture One file. And that's just like straight off import.
Damn.
It actually turned my editing, it made it even faster because I would never have to like crush the blacks or anything like that. Like it would just come out the way I wanted it to look, and I would just fine tune the colors and stuff.
That's crazy. I might have to try it out then for sure.
And I think the biggest thing for Capture One for me is you could work in sessions. So like on my MacBook, I'll take all the RAWs and put them in one folder and put that client's name on it. And in Capture One, you can open it up, and instead of saying hit new catalog or adding it to the catalog, you hit new session, and the session will attach to that folder, and all your edits also go in that folder, and all of your exports go into that folder too. Okay. So like it's just super easy for
batch editing,
organization, batch editing, things like that. So
everything's just more streamlined in there.
Yeah, totally. And
that's crazy.
And I mean, $100 for the year for it. I mean, you could pay. They just did a month-to-month thing if you wanted to. I think it's like $15 a month, but they give you a bigger deal if you just go straight
for the year.
Yeah, for the year.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense for sure.
Yeah, but the original Capture One, so they have like two versions. They have a version just for Sony because they've had that agreement with Sony for a long time.
Oh, okay.
And then they also have the full version, which will let you do like Canon, Nikon, their own RAW files because they work with like Hasselblad and stuff like that. So that one's like $300 or $400.
Jesus Christ!
But since you only use Sony, you only got to pay the $100 one because, granted, though, you can't use like if you're going through like old photos from your Nikon and stuff like that, you can't import them in there. That's
fine. I haven't really touched like old photos in a while anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I would say give it a try.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try it for sure.
And I stopped using Premiere because it just runs like super slow on my MacBook. Yeah. And I bought like the top of the line MacBook Pro in 2017, and I was like, oh yeah, this can handle it or whatever. No, like rendering takes forever.
Yeah, it's been pissing me off when I edit the other podcast I do. I have to proxy everything. If not, it's just horrible. And that's just streaming 2 streams of 1080 at the same time, and it's just bogging down super bad. Yeah, it's not even. Like I run one thing of 4K, and it's just like. Non-existent.
Yeah, I moved over to, in the interim, I was using Final Cut.
Okay.
Final Cut Pro. That's kind of weird. It's kind of basic to me.
I started when I started video editing, I started in Final Cut at Palomar. That's what I was learning how to do all that stuff. And then because to go through the whole program, you had to learn Final Cut and Premiere. Yeah. So I learned Premiere, and I was like, Premiere is actually a little bit easier to use than Final Cut. Right. And then I started learning how to use Avid. Have you ever heard of Avid? But it's this other video editor where I guess supposedly it's more used for TV shows, things like that. Supposedly, I took that class for 2 weeks, and then I was like, no, I'm not taking that class. Like, I'm never gonna use Avid for something. Right. But yeah, Final Cut was like right where I started.
Yeah, and it's great. It's just it's very limiting on the export. Like what file format you can use and like how you have to, because you got to get compressor if you want to do MP4 and stuff like that.
I haven't used it in a while.
Yeah, it gets weird. And then Premiere was bogging down, so I ended up doing DaVinci. I just got DaVinci Resolve 16 because when 16 came out, it was free. I've been rocking that ever since.
I heard that's a really great editor, like an all-in-one, just perfect for everything.
It works super great. It's got everything you need pretty much.
Because that one edits in nodes, right?
Yeah.
It's not like timeline editing.
Well, you can do both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I use the timeline editing for...
linear editing is what.
Yeah, I use that for the actual like storyline, the cut and the edit. And then I use the nodes for color grading and creatively.
Yeah, I've been trying to get into DaVinci. I'm just like, I'm kind of scared.
I bounce back and forth. Like late on the last paid job I did, I went back to Premiere. No, I went back to Final Cut because it was like what I knew, tried and true. Like I knew where everything was and how to do it. And then DaVinci, it gets a little weird. It's like I want to change that one thing, but I don't know how yet. You know what I mean? And they want a quick turnaround time, so it's like I gotta.
Hold on, I'm just gonna reset the camera because it's on for 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, R3 life.
Yeah. There you go. Cool. Yeah, but that's how it is, man. You just gotta keep going with what you know sometimes because there's no way of like knowing that something can go wrong with certain programs. It sucks for sure.
Yeah, luckily Final Cut's a one-time buy.
Yeah,
so it's like it's always there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a backup in case I get in trouble or anything.
Yeah, I even did you? I don't know if probably when you started editing in Final Cut 7, like the old Final Cut. Yeah. I used that for a while too, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is so old.
Yeah,
I had to edit like in school. I had to edit some like press junket for Georgia the Jungle, like that old Brendan Fraser movie.
Oh, right.
And that was one of the projects that we had to do, and I was like, I don't want to do this.
I didn't think Final Cut was like industry standard.
It is. It's crazy knowing like how many people are like Final Cut. Because I always hear Premiere.
Yeah, that's all I've heard. Was Premiere's industry standard. Like, you got to know it.
Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you know who Daniel Schiffer is.
Yeah.
That dude uses nothing but Final Cut. He's always raving and ranting about how good Final Cut is, but better than Premiere. And I'm just like, I don't know.
I mean, I think they all do the same thing collectively.
Just different, yeah.
Yeah, you can get to the same end point with any of them.
Yeah.
I don't think... Same thing with like Lightroom or Capture One. I just think the total process of, your start point and your end point getting there is
the road how you get there.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Just different.
Yeah, exactly. One's a straight line and one's hills.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, but yeah, that's just kind of how it is for me. But yeah, like MacBook, Capture One all the way. Like I'm not even worried about the M1 for that. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, dude, it's good. So.
What was the last paid gig that you had to do?
The last paid gig I did was...
the one that you were just talking about for that you had to went back to Final Cut.
Oh, so that one I was helping my buddy Armando. I don't know if you know him on Instagram. Is ADS Flicks. He was doing a shoot for
I saw
the backdrop company.
You were running the gimbal that day.
Yeah.
I saw it. Okay.
So he was doing that. And he needed some BTS video for that, and I was playing with some of my profiles on my A7 III. So I was running Cine 2, 4K, and I was using the Leeming LUT. I bought the Leeming LUT Pro pack.
Haven't heard of them.
So they do corrective LUTs.
Okay.
And I don't know if you watch Gerald Undone. He's super into video for especially Sony's and Panasonics.
Okay.
And he was talking about Leeming LUT. And so I bought the pack, and I was just I was having issues trying to get it where I wanted it. And what I found out was like in Final Cut, when I added the corrective LUT versus DaVinci, it looked different. And I liked the look that it had better in Final Cut, even though it was the same LUT. It was just looking different. So I was kind of crunched for time. I told him I would turn it around in like 2 or 3 days max. So I was just like, you know what, flip back to that and run the LUT and just go. But yeah, I mean, it was, and it felt like the cuts were a little smoother. It's probably just because like I said, I know Final Cut more than I know DaVinci.
Yeah.
But I've seen people do crazy stuff with DaVinci too. So it's like,
it's just like the road to get to where you're ending up at is just different for some people, and some people know certain things way better than others. So it's just,
Right.
You know, you can kill it in whatever software as long as you know it really well. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, there was a few things in that workflow that day that were just experimental.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, that was the first time I shot in Cine 2.
Okay.
And using a corrective LUT.
Gotcha.
That was like, you know, preset. You just throw the LUT on. Usually I do like a lot of just custom. I just do a lot of customization the way I like it. I usually shoot Cine 4.
Okay. Do you use monitors that have the LUT already built into them or no?
No, I just shoot it straight off the camera.
Because that monitor right there, if I wanted to like run a LUT on it just to see what like final product, I could run the LUT while I'm recording and like for a client, like, yo, this is the look we're going for, and you just run it off there.
See, that's dope.
Yeah.
Especially if you shoot like a S-Log. Because you can't see anything when you shoot S-Log without a monitor. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Because it's like super washed out. That's awesome. I'll have to.
Yeah, you just have to like there's a memory card slot. You just pop it in, load the memory card with all the LUTs that you want, or not all of them. There's only room for 8. So you pick 8 of the LUTs, put them in the memory card, and then you just assign what LUT to what number, and you can just like, let's say you go to a client shoot and like, this is the look I want to go for when I'm editing, and you just pop it on there, and the client can be like, oh, that's actually really nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Was that the Atmos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Shinobi, I think.
Okay.
And then that one's the Ninja Flame.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I thought about that because if I was going to get like a lot more video gigs, I would definitely run that, especially because, you know, still experimenting. I mean, well, what logs do you normally like to shoot into?
So right now I'm messing with Cine 2 on these ones.
Okay.
For this one, because normally I just shoot neutral on everything.
Oh, like just a base?
Yeah, because I don't. The clients that I've gotten, they don't really want heavy edits or color grades on them.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, that's cool. And I'll just do like a light color grade and color correction, all that stuff to them.
Right.
And it's worked out so far. So right now with this podcast, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try the Cine 2 colors and see how that works out. Because I always wanted to try it, but I'm like, I don't know if I should.
Right. Yeah, I used to use, what was it? Just Picture Profile 1, whatever that one is.
Yeah.
Factory movie mode or whatever that comes in the Sonys. It doesn't give you a lot to play with, but I mean, it gets the job done, and people don't really know or don't really bother to care.
Especially when it's being so compressed and they're putting it on Instagram or something, it doesn't really matter.
It crushes all the colors anyway. So
exactly.
Like, yeah, and I wasn't even shooting 4K at the time.
Okay.
Because people didn't care about having 4K footage. They wanted, so I just shot 1080p all the time. So
it's kind of like all the cameras where you can shoot 4K 60 or like 120, and people are wanting them. Like, no one will ever see that full resolution of it because everyone's watching everything on their phone. Yeah,
and that's always in 480, 720.
Unless you put it on YouTube where it's like 1250 or
but then you still got to put it on a monitor. Exactly. You're looking at it on your phone. You're not going to get that native resolution. You know,
that's what I find funny. Where everyone's like, "Oh, like when the commercials for that Samsung, where they're like, oh, we shoot in 8K."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, where's that person gonna watch their 8K footage?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
I mean, there's not even an 8K television.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
I remember I went to this convention called Cinegear, and they had a 10K projector, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Who shoots in 10K?
That's the only place you're ever gonna watch it is here. That doesn't matter. No, I can go home and buy it for like $60,000 or something. I was gonna
say the projector's probably like super expensive.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
I mean, because it's like when people shoot on Reds, like all the 8K footage and stuff. Yeah. Who's gonna watch that? I mean, you can.
It might look great downsampled. You know what
true.
I mean? But still,
like the crop in and all that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's crazy. Like I didn't even shoot 4K for a couple of years after I had the camera, even a year and a half.
Damn.
I mean, I would shoot 4K for fun.
Yeah.
But if anybody paid me, it was
1080.
just straight 1080p. Because nobody wants big old files.
That's
like
true.
And stuff like that.
Or if people do, they want it on a thumb drive or their wedding video, like on the DVD or something.
Yeah.
Like that's 1080 or 720 at most.
Yeah, you couldn't put a 4K on it.
No. You know? Well, you can do what?
It was 15 minutes. You need a Blu-ray disc.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, this is crazy.
So, what are your favorite things to shoot when you're not shooting portraits?
I still love doing street photography and landscape. Because of the new lens, I've started to do macro stuff just because just cause that was one of the big selling points of that lens for me, is like it got me into a different, style of photography.
Okay.
Like you just go outside, take pictures of leaves and bugs and shit, and like, you know what I mean?
Just get a different look.
Yeah, you get a different look. It looks good,
Do you still shoot film at all or no?
No, I haven't shot film in probably since high school.
Damn.
Yeah.
How old are you? I don't even know how old you are.
34.
Oh, you're not okay. You're not that old.
Yeah, no, I'm not that old. But I just never had a film camera, like an actual decent one.
Mm-hmm.
The only cameras in the house at the time were just digital, like
okay.
Like cyber shots, like
gotcha, like point and shoots.
Yeah, point and shoots, and then or if they were filmed, they were just like the disposable ones. You would just go get done, and so
like those are the one-time use ones,
right? So like when I bought my first DSLR, I was like,
holy shit.
I mean? Like you look at, I was like, this is the only one in the house. Like it's crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, probably, yeah, I still like doing architectural street photography, and now macro.
Because your following on Instagram isn't huge.
No.
So you because I remember recently, a couple of months back, I saw you post on your story where you said you had deleted a bunch of people off of your Instagram because you're like, oh, I don't want to see anymore. Like, I don't even, why'd you do that? Just cause or like personal reasons? I mean,
I deleted a lot of, because, your Instagram, it happens to everybody. You get followers like, oh, cool, they followed me. Mm-hmm. And then you look at their work and then you keep seeing their stuff, but then you check back later and they're not following you. Yeah. They're not like engaging on your stuff.
Yeah, because I just recently unfollowed a shitload of people on my page.
Right. And the reason why I do that is because if you're not following me, I think the algorithm, I mean, it changes all the time, but the one thing that caught me was like the first hour of your posts, only see 1% of your engagement or of your audience. And if I got a bunch of people that aren't even following me, or I get people that follow me and then those accounts, get used for something else, or like, there's ghosts, all kinds of stuff, spam accounts. So I just go through and weed all those out, which is why a lot of mine usually stays pretty low. I mean, I don't really care. It's
not a big, like some people have little to no followers and they're getting super high paying gigs.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't,
I have not been one of those people where Instagram has got me any paid work.
Okay.
You know what I mean? A lot of it comes from my website or word of mouth or things like that. People will book me through there.
Okay.
I just like having it because it's a mobile portfolio.
Yeah,
much.
For sure.
And, the stuff that I post on there, it's, it gives me a chance to be a little bit more creative than, stuff on my website, I guess.
I've gotten a few paid gigs off of my Instagram and stuff, and I was like, all right, that's cool. But it's just kind of keeping up with what's going on. And so many people are shooting. And
yeah, and not only that, the biggest part is being consistent, and posting, keeping your engagement up. It's like a full-time job in itself.
Oh, I know. I feel you, man. Especially having 2 kids of my own and running a company, and it's just so much. Yeah. And staying on top of.
Yeah, you would have to hire someone just to do all your social media.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But
it's definitely a hustle.
Oh yeah, totally. Like
even running the Instagram for my other podcast. Oh my god, man, it's freaking crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it's a full-time job.
Yeah,
like, keeping up with all that stuff. Make sure you post every day. A certain time. Keeping your reels and your stories. And all that
man,
stuff
it's a lot for sure.
Yeah.
But what keeps you motivated to keep shooting? Like, do you ever feel like you get in a rut?
Oh yeah, I've been in a rut for probably since the pandemic started. I kind of I think I've only shot like 4 times in the last year and a half.
Damn.
Mainly because I just didn't feel like picking up my camera, or even going outside.
Feel you.
It was tough dealing with, working in healthcare, and I'm sure it's you. I mean, it was a big concern for you too. I'm sure
definitely
taking
was
care of other people. You're just paranoid all the time.
Yeah.
Washing my hands 20 times a day, taking 3 showers, fever checking myself all the time. And
did you ever get COVID?
No, I didn't get it. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I got it at the beginning of the year.
Oh, wow.
So I got it. My daughter got it.
Oh, my God.
But my girlfriend and my son didn't have it. And my girlfriend and I, like the day before I tested positive, obviously we slept in the same bed together.
Right.
But she had tested negative and I tested positive the next day.
Wow.
And the same day that I got it, I had just gotten my vaccine.
Oh, your first dose?
Yeah, so I was like, fuck, I don't know if that maybe had to do with it. And they're like, no, it has nothing to do with it. Like, if you have it, you have it. And I was like, fuck. So
yeah. So did you end up getting it though? I mean, like you're finishing your vaccination and stuff.
Well, yeah,
I know they told you had. I thought normally they told you had to wait.
No, so they said I was good to go to get the second vaccination after it. So I was like, all right, cool.
Well, I mean, I guess because it was 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I was fine after that, and then got tested literally, I think every week for 2 months after that.
Wow.
Not me, but people at work and the people we take care of at work. The 5 of them ended up getting it as well.
Oh my god!
So that was a whole hassle where everybody would when people went to work, we had to wear like whole literally hazmat suits kind of just to be protecting them since they had to be quarantined as well, and it's kind of hard for them since they don't really know what's going on being in isolation. That made me feel bad too because I was like, fuck, like they're stuck in their room, not able to really do much.
Yeah.
So that was tough, and I didn't shoot for a while either because of this. And finally, when I did, I was like, cool, I shot, but kind of feel bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the pandemic has probably done that to everyone, but
yeah.
I mean, my biggest rut lately is just that I've shot so many things that are the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's
models, and then
and it's just like it's the same places. Everybody wants to shoot at the beach, or they want to shoot downtown. They want to do this,
or Balboa, or something.
They want to do totally. Or like they want to do like the fashion look, or they want to do the beach look, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And not blaming them. It's it's what they want. But for me, it's just kind of
you're just like I want to shoot something else.
We've been doing it in San Diego for so long. It's
yeah.
That's all you're gonna get.
True.
But and I just haven't really found any like inspiration to shoot like that. That's really kind of my thing. Like if someone approaches me, like I don't really have. I'm one of those weird people that just kind of go with the flow. Like I take what people's ideas are, and I my part is enjoying bringing that portion to life.
Okay.
Like somebody wants this kind of shoot, and I enjoy like breaking that down and making and not recreating it because it's going to be our own thing, but like just kind of like meeting their expectations of what they imaged or pictured in their head when they want that look.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't really have like a specific theme or look that I always want to shoot or any crazy creative ideas or anything like that.
You don't have like a certain style that's the style you stick to and that's it. Because there's a lot of photographers who get stuck in like the one thing.
No, I totally shot a bit of everything.
Yeah,
for sure. Which is nice because you get to go around and try yourself out in those different avenues. But I would say lifestyle, fashion, fitness kind of stuff is where I've always been like most comfortable in, or where I've shot the most.
Gotcha.
But it's usually because the people that want to work with me or that I talk to are in those areas. You know what I mean? Like I'm not out there to do like boudoir photography or anything like that. And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's but I have tried it.
Okay.
People have asked me, "Do you do it?" And I say, "Well, not like everybody else.
Not professionally, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm down to do whatever, and and I guess that's my thing is maybe it's because that's the way I am as even a technician or a problem solver in life is like I just want to they give me that challenge and I want to, meet their expectations with it. So,
nice.
But other than that, all of my creative juices is not really in there right now.
So if it's outside of photography, like what do you do to get your other, like your mindset away from work and photography? Because I know photography, even if it's not your full-time thing, it can consume a lot of what you're doing.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So like, what do you do to kind of take your mind off of that?
Music, definitely, playing music.
Okay.
Video games, spending time with my kid, just things to just take my mind off of just everything in general.
You play the guitar, the drums, like you play, or you play a little bit of everything?
Guitar.
Okay.
I wish I could play the drums.
Yeah.
But 'cause everybody needs a drummer. So many guitar players around. But yeah, I play the guitar. I've played the guitar for I don't know, about 15 years now. 15, 16 years. Yeah.
That's dope.
So
I just, like I told you earlier, I just started learning like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. That's part of the journey, dude. Like my biggest thing about playing music is just having fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy the musicality of it. Like, I'm not like a shredder or anything like that by any means, you know what I mean? But I have come up with a couple of, you know, stuff that sticks in your head. I mainly do rhythm.
Okay.
But it's just for fun. It's just like an outlet. You know?
Gotcha.
Like, I'm not going out to be in a band or anything.
You ever shot any concert photography? Speaking about music? Like,
no, I always wanted to.
Okay.
Like, I sold one of my lenses to a guy that shoots down at 4th and B.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, if we have any more gigs, you know. But that was like right before COVID hit. And I was like, yeah, they're not open anymore.
Yeah, like, never mind.
Yeah. But I always wanted to. Like, it looks like I've gone to plenty of concerts. I can only imagine, like,
I shot
backstage and shooting them and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I've shot, like, the friend we had, the local artist. He opened up for Bone Thugs and Harmony at the House of Blues.
Oh, what?
And I shot for him. I did a couple pictures and that stuff. I wish I could just do more. Like, I want to do stadiums and shit.
Right,
That'd be so awesome to do.
Yeah, events. I like doing events. Even though people really don't like doing that kind of stuff, I enjoy doing events. I actually enjoy shooting weddings.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the first person I heard say that, for sure.
I don't enjoy editing the hundreds of photos that come with weddings, but I enjoy shooting them.
True.
They're fun. You gotta be fast. You know, you gotta not miss anything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Everything.
I always think it's funny when I started when I got into weddings a little bit more. I said this. I was like, it took for me to get divorced to actually get into shooting weddings.
Right. Right.
I was like, damn.
Yeah. I mean, but it's fun. I mean,
but I can appreciate a good wedding. I was like, hey, that's actually a really nice wedding.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but to me, it's like one of the few things you can shoot that's just like raw emotion. Like, everything is so chaotic that day because everything is running at full speed and people are just getting makeup put on and the guys are over here getting ready and like
or getting drunk while they're getting ready.
Yeah. And like, you got to do this and make sure that you could take pictures of the bouquet before they get that all screwed up and like the rings before, you know, God forbid someone loses them or puts them on. So being able to capture all that stuff, because I remember when I got married, I didn't remember anything. And then I looked at and it's not because I got drunk or anything. I mean,
it's just so fast paced.
It's just so fast. Yeah. Like, you wake up that morning and then you blink and then like,
oh fuck, I'm married.
Yeah. And you're like, you're already in your hotel suite. The thing's already done and you pass out. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And it's ridiculous. And then the chance to look at those photos after, be like, man, that really looked great, you know? And, you know, we had so much fun. Yeah, it just helps you capture those, like, you know, those memories and stuff. Like, I think that's like the biggest part of being a wedding or doing weddings for people and stuff.
Capturing those moments for those people.
Because they're not going to remember them as they happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially, you know, as someone who was married yourself and going through that, you know, you and you know, the bride at the time, planning the wedding, dealing with the big day comes up.
I didn't have that whole like thing for me. I was just like, go to the courthouse, get married. That was it.
Oh, okay.
So for me, like when I've gone to weddings in the past and I've seen them, I'm like, okay, I can appreciate them for what they are.
Right.
But like, goddamn, that's a lot of money though.
Yeah. And there's a lot of work involved and like, yeah, it's ridiculous. But it's super cool. I mean, it's something that, you know, I've talked to, you know, the bride and groom after when I send them their photos and they're like that happened? You know, that person was there when he did that? You know, I'm like, yeah. It's like, because you're getting pulled in so many directions to do so many different things. Like, you don't remember what's going on.
It's crazy too, because when you're editing everything back, because I did a wedding for a friend of mine that I went to high school with, and then I was like, hey, I know a photographer, just like as a joke, and he's like, actually, we're looking for one. So then they hired me.
Mm-hmm.
And
those are the best.
Right? Yeah.
Those are the best gigs to pick up ever.
And then I gave them the finished product, and they were watching the video back, and they're like, can you please just stay with us to watch the video? I was like, okay, fine, I'll stay. Like, watching their reaction to something that I've watched over and over again because I was editing it. Like, to me, it's like, all right, get to this point. Like, all right, cool. First kiss, this. I was like, this is kind of boring. But then watching them and their reaction of like getting teary eyed and crying, it's like, holy crap.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Man. It's crazy. Yeah. And, you know, even going into like, you know, staring at the work you create, like the video or your photos, you're like, sometimes I get to the point where I'm like, that photo looks like absolute shit. You know what I mean? Because like,
yeah,
I'm just like, it looks like trash. Yep. And it's because I've been sitting there like pixel peeping, like shading everything. And then when I give it to them, they're like, "Oh my god, like that's the best thing we've ever seen." Or like even when you post it on social media, people are like, "Man, it looks great." And I'm like, "Well, there's some spots in there that look really, really messed up." You know what I mean?
And I'm over here thinking I'm the only one who fucking thinks like that. And I'm just like, fuck.
No, dude, we all do that, especially when you spend hours on something, you know. But it's also, and that's one thing I do enjoy about social media and stuff, and doing work for clients is because I get so tunnel visioned on stuff. And seeing their reactions to it
Or worth it at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, totally. So
I feel you on that. Yeah.
so.
It's crazy how there's been times where I'm just like, oh my God, this is such ass. Like, why am I still editing this?
Right.
And then I'll come back to the next day, I'll export it and I'll just send it. And they're like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
And it's like their favorite one.
Yeah.
But it was the one you had the most trouble with, you know? And it's like, but yeah, that's usually how it goes. You know?
I did this photo shoot for a clothing company, and I edited the video that they wanted and everything. And I spent like 3 days editing the video, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so over this video. And I sent it, and they're like, yo, this is really good. Thank you. I was like, oh, okay. That's all I needed to hear at the end of the day, because I was like, oh man, I thought it was horrible. I was like, man,
because you're sitting there spinning your wheels on it.
And you're like, that transition can be a little bit better. I was like,
oh dude, the one that I did for Armando. I mean, God, man, I sent it. I didn't know what they were gonna do with it, so I think I just sent it like standard resolution. I think it was maybe 560 HD.
goddamn.
Well, because I knew it was going straight onto like social media.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But you know, they ended up taking it and then putting it through their software to add like little comments and I was like, oh no. So then when it came back out again, I was like, oh, it looks all butchered.
Oh wow.
Then when I got to YouTube, I was like, oh, it even got compressed even more. And I was like, I should have just thrown the 4K in there and just let them
mess with it.
Yeah, because if they were gonna add to it or whatever, I thought it was just gonna be a straight upload. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But yeah, even then I was like, oh, those transitions look like crap now that it's down to like 480. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh, it doesn't look good.
You can see the masking, you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you can see the gimbal like slowly like get that creep, you know what I mean? You're just like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But you know, they still like that.
Hey, that's all that matters at the end of the day, as long as the client likes it. And
yeah.
Hey.
But it was too funny. I was just like, oh shit.
I can only imagine, man. Like, hey, but it works.
Well, but I mean, they didn't tell me what resolution they wanted it in.
Oh yeah.
So, and it was my fault. I should have just put.
Asked, yeah.
Yeah, I should have just put both. You know?
Oh, true.
Like 4K and then whatever.
What did it? Was it for? You said it was for a backdrop company.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I figured that they were just gonna take the BTS video, the highlight reel, pretty much that I did, and just because I already layered it with music and stuff like that. I thought they were just gonna just put it on their YouTube, you know. But they were using it for ads and stuff, so they started adding text and stuff to like, you know, certain scenes.
Gotcha.
And I was like, they probably put it through a phone app, and then it just went down even farther. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then re-uploaded that into YouTube, and it went down even farther. So I was just like,
it's from 560 to like 240.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just like, oh man. So, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. I learned a lesson. Like, next time they'll or next time they'll at least get 1080 HD for upload to phones or whatever, or social media. So that way, when it does cut down to 480, it doesn't look terrible. You know. So, damn, bro, we've been going for an hour.
Basically, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's how podcasting is, man. Sometimes you're just, you know, so into the conversation, you're just like, oh man. I lost in it. Like when we started doing the Dad Bodz podcast where we review food, some of those podcasts lasted 3 hours. And it's just like, and those were the audio versions. And then we started doing the podcast with the cameras, and they would go 3 hours as well. And I was like, yo, if I'm gonna do this shit on video, like I'm the one editing this, we got to cut that down at least an hour 15.
Yeah.
Because the editing just gets like, all right, I'm kind of like getting bored here.
Right. Yeah, you're playing it back at like, you know, 10
exactly.
times.
You're listening to the edits and like kind of marking the points where something's funny for us to post on the Instagram and all that stuff. So, but yeah, man, podcasting is something that I've done it for a while. Like I told you, my cousin and I started doing it like 9 years ago. It didn't really ever take off. It was just something for us to do. We had fun with it. And then my friend Tommy, last year, he started his podcast. And I was like, hey, he asked me to be on it because he knew I'd podcasted for a while, and then we kind of just started doing the Dad Bodz podcast as well. Like after doing that, and that the Dad Bodz one has started to take off because, we all can relate over some food.
Right. For sure.
Everybody loves eating.
Of course. Especially out here.
Yeah. We've done a few food challenges on there. Nice. Won, lost the rest of them because goddamn. we did a chicken nugget challenge, dude. Oh my God.
What kind of chicken nuggets were they?
The McDonald's chicken nuggets.
I mean, they're good.
But not in abundance.
No. Not when you're getting past when you get past 20.
How many do you think you can eat in one? Like if you were to be challenged
to I've eaten the 20.
Okay.
Before.
But that's it? Just
out of
just hunger.
Yeah. Especially when they had the deals, you get the 210 pieces or whatever. I'd smash those. Yeah, but I can't imagine going any farther than
how many do you think what was the highest you think we went to?
Oh, you guys?
Yeah.
Probably into the 30s, 40s easy.
Yeah. He had 53. Well, 52 plus 1 because he had 52 on camera, and then right before he was leaving, he just grabbed one and just hey Teddy, and just put it in his mouth to eat it just out of spite. You fucking asshole. Because I had eaten 50.
Oh, okay.
I got to 50, and he's like, yo, I have to beat you. And I was in a literal coma. I was like, I didn't fucking move off the beanbag for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm done, man.
Probably never eat it.
I haven't eaten to this day, and that was back in December. In 6 months, I'm not eating a chicken nugget.
Yeah, man. I did that one time with a friend of mine when Hooters started doing their all-you-can-eat wings on Tuesdays.
They took that away.
Oh yeah, because you had people like me, my friends going in there just trying to smash as many wings as possible.
Yeah,
and I think I ate 30 something, and I was just like, oh, I'm done. And he ended up eating 40 something, and his fries, and I was just like,
yeah, no, I'm chilling off that.
Yeah, I stayed off wings for a hot minute, especially from Hooters. But
I would too.
Yeah, but never again.
But yeah, man, if you ever want to come on and eat some food with us before you take off over to Arizona, man, more than welcome to come on and hop on with us.
Sure, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, that'd be dope. It sounds like fun. I saw the one Courtney was on. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was fun. The camera setup was kind of weird on that one. You could barely see my face because he had the arms for the microphones. I was like, fuck, I can't really see myself.
Right.
But it's all good. And then on that one we had, like I told you, we had a seafood boil. I don't know if you like seafood, but
not really.
No?
Nah, not too big on it.
Neither was I until I had that.
Really?
Yeah, that was actually really good.
See, I thought about that because I like Cajun food. I like Cajun food. I like spice. I like things like that. So I mean, if there was seafood that was tied into it that way,
okay,
I probably could mess with it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't really think. I mean, I like blackened catfish and stuff like that, but
where did you grow up, or where are you from?
California.
Yeah.
I was born in Northern California.
Okay.
Stayed up there, and then I've been down here for 20 years.
Damn. I know conversations all over the place, but hey,
I
said, it's literally I haven't talked to you for more than 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
At a meetup and shit.
Yeah, we're learning all about each other.
Yeah.
Right now. But yeah, I've been that's kind of the move is kind of scary because.
Oh, I know. I can imagine.
I've lived in California my whole life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
What city in Arizona?
It's called Kingman. It's
okay.
It's I like it because it's right in the middle of everything. Like I said, you could drive to Vegas. You can drive to Vegas in an hour and some change.
Oh shit! Okay.
Laughlin, Nevada.
I hate that place.
It's 30 minutes away. Grand Canyon's 30 minutes away.
I went to Laughlin once.
It's like someone chopped the nipple off of Las Vegas and stuck it over there. You know what I mean? I mean, it's chill. It's not too. It's hot as shit. And Lake Havasu's 45 minutes away. So I mean,
I went to. The reason I went to Laughlin, I haven't really talked about it. I was
going to ask you, how'd you end up in Laughlin?
I was an intern for a multimedia company in Oceanside, so they own the Polaris Razor race out there.
Oh, okay.
So they owned it, and they were running
out there on the Colorado River.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they owned the whole TV show and everything, and they were filming it, and they're like, "Hey, you got to go out there." And I had to drive the big ass box truck out there with all the grip truck, all that shit out there by myself, and I was the bitch of being out there.
Which way did they make you go?
I don't remember, man, but I had to
go the 8 or did you go up the 15?
I think we went to 15.
Okay, yeah. 15 and the 40.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you can go out the 8 and then come up through Glamis, through the sand dunes. And
yeah,
stuff.
I didn't go that way.
You can go all the way up that way. It's prettier. It's slower, but
yeah, I didn't go that. I was following them because it sucked going out there because so what they did is they're like, oh, we're gonna leave like around noon. I was like, all right, cool. Like that, I don't mind driving during the day, but I don't like driving at night.
Right.
It scares the fuck out of me, especially somewhere I've never been.
Right.
We didn't end up leaving.
It's like super dark.
Yeah, we didn't end up leaving till like 8:30.
Oh shit.
I was like, what the fuck? So I had to drive out there. I was like, oh, and it was raining too.
Yeah.
I was like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, and it's like once you get out on the 40, there's like no street lights.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you hear the rain hitting your windshield, but you don't see it.
Yeah.
Like, it's super.
And then the people I was following, because I had the direction on my phone, I was going, but I was following the other guys in front of me. They were just in a normal car.
Yeah, so they're booking it.
Yeah, I was like, you fucking assholes.
Yeah, you're going like 55.
Bro, I was fucking petrified back down the streets. I was like, oh my God. And then finally, when you finally get down the hill and you can see all the lights in Laughlin, I was like, oh fuck, finally we're here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fucking sigh of relief.
Yeah, dude, it's I can understand why you don't like Laughlin.
Not only that, and then they're like, all right, now when I was out there, they're like, all right, you got to take these flyers and you have to hand them out to all the casinos. Like, bitch, it's fucking 90 degrees outside.
Oh, I know. Bro, I was out there last 4th of July and it was like 118 out there in Laughlin.
Oh God.
I mean, it doesn't get that hot up in Kingman because the elevation's a lot higher.
Okay.
But yeah, you drop down into like Bullhead, Laughlin, Lake Havasu, you're
hot
like
as shit.
117.
Yeah, no, I'm chilling off that.
Yeah, so I was like, nah.
That's why. Okay, so then now I see why you were saying in your post on your story, like if you want to shoot in Laughlin or
yeah,
Vegas.
because literally it'll take me a half hour to get to those places.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming a lot of my work is going to be out of Vegas, just because
like IT stuff.
No, I mean,
or like shoot photo shoots.
Like,
okay,
photography, video work. I know it's going to be like that's going to be the big thing is Vegas. I'm sure, but it's going to be weird, man. I'm going to be living in a small town. I think there's only like 40,000 people in the town.
Yeah, it's small, but that's a lot of people though.
I mean,
compared to here though, I know.
Yeah, I mean, but when you look at like, because I'm from Nashville City, like I've lived in Nashville City my whole life.
Oh fuck yeah, that's
so you know what I mean. Like Nashville City,
true, is
easily about 10 times that amount. You know what I mean? In that area, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
a couple 100,000 people.
Fuck. Crazy how think
only having like a tenth of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a place that's probably the size of San Diego County, it's really spread out.
Oh, okay.
So,
that makes sense then.
Yeah. So I mean, it's nice.
It's
different though.
Did it take you a while to find the place or?
Because the market. Oh yeah. I mean, it's a seller's market for sure. Like I sold my house in an instant. And somebody came up and bought my house just like that.
Oh shit.
And I wasn't even on the market. Like this family came to my house and was like, we like the layout because I live in like kind of like this. There's different models for the homes, but like different floor plans. They're like, we love this floor plan, and we were wondering if you were interested in selling it. I was planning on putting it up for sale, but I'm not like done with like doing the floors and stuff like that. And then they just straight brought their realtor the next day and made an offer. And just,
holy fuck.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right, now I got to find a house. So I was out. I had my realtor out there. My brother lives out there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's the kicker. Like my brother's been living there since like 2010.
Gotcha.
Out in Kingman. So
okay.
He lives out there. He got me a realtor and they were looking and stuff. And I was just seeing houses go like crazy. Like it's not even because they were that expensive. It was just because the speed that they were going. Like
shit.
They would be on the market, and then an hour later, they're just already sold.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was. So I've been sitting there like trying to deal with that. Luckily I bought a place. I put a cash offer in, and they took it. So
okay.
Yeah, but it's gonna be different.
That's great. Yeah, I can imagine. Just even visiting sometimes different places, I'm just like, that's kind of scary.
Well, yeah, but like for the past 10 years.
Oh yeah, you've been visiting.
I've been driving out there twice, sometimes 3 times a year.
Okay.
Or we would alternate on certain years. He would come here for the holidays, and then I would go out there for the summer or whatever.
That's good then.
For a little time, but not every day. You know what I mean? Like I would go for like 4 or 5 days, and he would come down here for like a week or whatever. But it's never been like
you're gonna live there.
You're here every day in and day out. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting for.
And then for your IT job, is that out there too, or like?
No, so I can't stay, because Sharp is San Diego only.
Oh shit.
Sharp, Scripps, all of them pretty much except for Kaiser are like
true.
Or San Diego only. So I gotta quit. Luckily, I have enough money saved up to survive a few months out there. You know,
that's what matters.
Get my footing, find a job. You know? Or something takes off and I get stuck shooting weddings in Vegas.
True,
You know what I mean, I only got to do 1 or 2 weddings a month. You know,
true.
I can make it, but you know, you never know. But
would you want to do that? Just shoot weddings, or just be a full-time shooter?
I mean,
if you could,
oh yeah, for sure, that would be dope.
Yeah,
but you know, I'm being realistic.
True.
Luckily, working IT, I can get remote work. You know what I mean? I can work from home, like I'm doing right now. Or, you know, there's places out there that need IT people.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, there's also people who need photographers out there too. Like the
man.
realtor, I was complaining to her that the photos look like crap, and she was telling me, you know, the owners just snap whatever pictures on their phone. I was like, well, when I move out here, if you want to just skip all that, you know, pay me a small fee. I'll walk in there and shoot your listings and stuff like that. And she was like, oh yeah, totally. So I was like, there was that.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
My brother, the college, they already asked me to shoot the graduation ceremony.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, little gigs here and there. So I was like, maybe something might turn out, but
having your schedule open up can open up more shoots.
Oh, that's the biggest thing too. Is like, you know, I working full time and then trying to shoot, like,
yeah, it's a bitch.
Plus, everybody else works Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and I work Wednesday through Sunday, 1 to 9 p.m. or 1 to 9:30 p.m. You know what I mean? So it's like
when everyone's already off work and then wanting to shoot.
So I usually tell people, you know, if you want to shoot on the weekends, I got to be done by noon because I got to go to work. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like, I hope you like waking up early and like shooting in the morning because that's the only golden hour to shoot I'm going to be doing right now.
Gotcha.
Except for like Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody's off Monday and Tuesday.
I am.
Yeah, apparently. I was like, oh, you're off on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
I have it's a really weird schedule. But
I think when you're a caretaker or like you work in healthcare or anything, you're going to have weird schedules like that. Cause
thankfully I make my schedule. So I'm like, I can work around these.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. You know, I work for a hospital, so it's 24 hours a day. So you just kind of pick whatever
shift you can get.
Yeah, exactly. So stick with it. But yeah, so we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be interesting.
All right, brother. Well, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me.
And anytime, obviously, if we want to, like, before you leave, come on that podcast or do this one again.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I'm for it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything you want to touch on or whatever.
No, man.
I'm down.
We're good right now.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you?
So you guys can find me on Instagram. I'm at JRE Multimedia on Instagram. That's my website, jremultimedia.com. And I do have a YouTube completely got like 2 or 3 videos on it, but it's really just for clients. So
we all have that.
Look at there, but
we all have that YouTube channel that's just been sitting there
for years. I'm gonna try and knock the dust off of it. That's one thing that I wanted to get back into too when I move. So
okay.
I actually do like tutorials and stuff like that. And actually put those kind of videos out, like editing and stuff and shooting.
Yeah, I wanted to dabble in that, but I was like, I don't know. It's a whole nother beast to take on for sure.
But that's what excites me is like doing that stuff. I'm definitely gonna get back into that. But yeah, so mainly Instagram, Facebook, JRE Multimedia as well, jremultimedia.com. Nice. That's pretty much all I got as far as social media. I'm lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have anything else yet. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So.
All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. And you guys can follow me at Teddy Osuna on my Instagram. And I'll see you guys later.
All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.